Charles Leclerc is being pushed to pursue a very risky Ferrari escape plan. The Monegasque driver has been offered an out, should the prancing horse keep failing him. So, what's the plan? Keep watching the video and see for yourself. According to Matt Q from Autosport, it's possible that Audi could emerge as the primary alternative to Ferrari for Charles Leclerc. But there's some doubt about whether it would be a wise move for him to consider joining a team that seems to be falling behind schedule. The Formula One landscape is on the brink of a complete transformation by 2026. At that time, we can expect the arrival of a new generation of contenders and power units. Additionally, we'll witness a fresh contender in the mix with the entry of Audi. They've sealed an agreement with Sauber, and starting from that season, they will function as the Audi factory team, utilising the newly crafted Audi power unit. So, it's already prompting drivers to contemplate their strategies for the 2026 season. Charles Leclerc is among those facing decisions, especially since his contract with Ferrari is due to conclude at the end of 2024. Ferrari has decided to delay contract discussions until the conclusion of the 2023 F1 season, which has been quite demanding for both the team and Charles Leclerc. This delay has fueled speculations about Leclerc's potential departure, despite his consistent expressions of the desire to remain with Ferrari. Interestingly, there has been no official response from Ferrari in this regard. Unless Lando Norris were to make the switch to Red Bull, thus opening up a spot at McLaren, Matt Q finds it challenging to envision any other viable opportunity for Charles Leclerc, apart from the potential option at Audi. Considering that Alfa Romeo Sauber's progress seems to have hit a roadblock in the 2023 F1 season, and Red Bull is boasting a significant lead in the development of the 2026 power unit compared to Audi, Matt Q raises doubts about whether it would be a wise decision for Leclerc to opt for the mega payday at Audi. When asked on the GP Racing podcast whether Leclerc should remain with Ferrari or explore other options, Q responded with his reservations, saying, "I asked myself this question by looking at the alternatives. So, if and when Lewis Hamilton retires, I think Mercedes, based on current form, is more likely to go for Lando Norris. However, perhaps there is a turn of events where Lando Norris goes to Red Bull to partner Max Verstappen. Depending on how those play out, McLaren, upwardly mobile at the minute, is an option for Leclerc, but I don't see Red Bull or Mercedes going for Leclerc as a driver, and I think that's because he is rapid and his racecraft is good, but I think he's in a category ever so slightly below Verstappen and Russell. As like a naturally talented driver, I don't think he's quite a level for them in terms of intellect and how that can drive the team forward. So then you look at the alternatives, which is maybe a mega payday at Sauber, Audi. Well, what you hear about them, you look at Sauber. They're finally operating at the cost cap, now they've had some investment from Ingolstadt, but they've made zero progress this season. And the rumours are, Audi are months behind Red Bull powertrains, months behind Mercedes with the 2026 engine regs. So basically, that's not a competitive step forward. So, maybe you are better off staying at Ferrari just for a dearth of alternative opportunities. In the previous Formula One season, porpoising was a frequently used term in the F1 lexicon. However, this season it has been replaced by a more straightforward term, struggling. Teams have been grappling with the challenge of matching Red Bull's performance, striving to stay competitive and just staying in the race. This struggle has been pervasive across all teams, except Red Bull, and it has posed an even more significant challenge for Charles Leclerc and Ferrari. It seems that as soon as they resolve one issue, another one crops up. Just when Leclerc gets a handle on the SF23, a new problem emerges. The 2023 season has proven to be quite a roller coaster for Leclerc, a ride that has been gradually ascending but hasn't quite reached its peak yet. The SF23 has shown steady improvement over the course of the year and has been making strides to close the gap with the RB19. However, at the moment it seems that the challenges are outweighing the solutions. If we were to draw a parallel between Ferrari's performance trajectory this season and that of another team, it would be Mercedes. Both teams faced initial setbacks at the beginning of the season, but have made significant strides since then. Although Mercedes currently holds an advantage over Ferrari, the Scuderia has a unique edge in one aspect, a better understanding of its car. With the season drawing to a close, the W14 remains a relative mystery for Mercedes, while Ferrari has been aware of its weaknesses from the start. However, Charles Leclerc and his team haven't found it any less challenging, as Leclerc himself noted in an interview with The Race. Ferrari has fallen considerably short of its season's expectations. It's quite a distance away from what we had initially hoped for. When contemplating on their performances, Charles Leclerc had this to say: "We were, at least at the beginning of the year, super wind sensitive. There were some off examples like Baku where the wind was quite high, but we were super strong. Leclerc was on pole and finished P3, which was difficult to understand. But then, as a general trend, we were struggling quite a lot." Even in one weekend, we could see a lot of very good sessions and also very difficult sessions. That was very, very difficult for us because also, as a driver, it's very difficult to set up the car in a particular way because you will get one car one session and a very different one the one after. The car's performance has exhibited variations across various tracks, but Charles Leclerc is grappling with more than just that. Apart from the fluctuations in the SF23's performances impacting the team's results, Leclerc also highlighted the challenging drivability of the car. In the end, maybe the best solution is replacing their drivers. Tom Coronel has put forth the notion to Ferrari that their sole pathway to securing a world title is by presenting Max Verstappen with an unrestricted offer. The Dutch driver has been asserting his dominance for over 2 seasons now, and he isn't showing signs of stopping. Having clinched victories in 13 out of 16 races, including an unprecedented streak of 10 consecutive wins, the reigning world champion now requires only 3 points in the upcoming race in Qatar to secure his 3rd championship title. His remarkable form, boasting 9 pole positions and 15 podium finishes, has firmly established him as the standout performer, leaving even his teammate Sergio Perez trailing far behind. Dutch racing driver Tom Coronel is now advocating for Ferrari to extend Max Verstappen an open-ended offer to entice him away from Red Bull. He said, "If I were the boss of Ferrari, I would immediately call Max Verstappen's management. I would give him a blank check on which he can fill in the amount per year as long as Max wears a red suit. The company will almost go bankrupt, but if you want to win, that's simply the only option." Considering Max Verstappen's existing long-term contract, which extends until the conclusion of the 2028 season, it seems highly improbable that Red Bull would be willing to part ways with him. Thus, the notion of Verstappen joining Ferrari remains nothing more than a distant dream at this point. However, Tom Coronel is of the opinion that Ferrari would be ecstatic if they could secure the services of the Dutchman. Everyone wants to work with Max Verstappen because they know that if you work with Max, you win races. They also want success and to commit to him, so I think that will work out fine. Coronel also believes that winning with Ferrari would also be a significant achievement for Max Verstappen, placing his name in the annals of Formula One history. You are only really a successful racing driver if you win the title in a Ferrari. I don't want to detract from Max's success at all because he is going to break all the records in the world. He is more than special and all the proof has already been provided. We don't need to talk about that anymore. But if you are wearing a red Ferrari suit, you are not a Formula One driver. You are next level. How about you? Would you make a move for Max Verstappen if you were Ferrari, or do you still have faith in Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz to give you a championship? Tell us what you would do in the comments section down below. And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.